There was a time where I was sipping lean, I was popping pills, I was doing Molly, you know, shrooms. You have all these people around me just kind of hanging on, wanting stuff from me, knowing that, like, I was living this lifestyle that they also wanted to live.
Let me beat you overnight.
Charged with DUI, resisting arrest.
All of which, he says, led him to abruptly put his career on hiatus in 2017.
Justin Bieber has spent decades in the spotlight, but what if we told you there are 6 Hollywood stars who crossed him in ways we never imagined? Betrayal, manipulation, and Hollywood's dark secrets. These aren't just rumors, they're part of Bieber's reality. And the final name on the list? It exposes an even bigger scandal the industry tried to bury. Before we move on, I would like you to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Number 1, Zane Stormcastle. Zane Stormcastle was once seen as a fixture in Hollywood, particularly known for mentoring promising young artists. When Justin Bieber emerged as a teenage sensation, Stormcastle positioned himself as a trusted advisor. On the surface, the relationship seemed like a perfect fit. Bieber had someone seasoned by his side, and Stormcastle had a new rising star to guide. But according to multiple insiders, their dynamic behind closed doors told a far more troubling story. Stormcastle had a reputation for pushing young celebrities into brand-building situations, and in Bieber's case, this reportedly meant events and projects that left him feeling uncomfortable. One story that continues to circulate involved a high-profile industry party where Bieber, then barely 16, was allegedly pressured into an impromptu performance. According to unnamed witnesses, Bieber wasn't ready and had expressed hesitation. Still, Stormcastle allegedly insisted, saying it was part of the job and implying Bieber owed his success to these moments. Bieber later described moments in his youth when he never felt like his own boundaries mattered, and though he didn't name names, fans could connect the dots. As Bieber matured, he slowly distanced himself, but this was just the beginning. Hollywood's betrayals, as Bieber would learn, came in many forms.
Director Michael Ratner follows the pop star on his journey to sobriety.
He was willing to go there, and he said to me, there's power in weakness.
The show also touches on Bieber's recent diagnosis with both Lyme and Epstein-Barr diseases, the docuseries boosting Bieber's YouTube stats. Nightline's cameras were backstage in those early years as Bieber fever swept the nation.
Number 2, Isla Veyron. In the early days of Justin Bieber's career, Isla Veyron made regular appearances in his circle. The two were often spotted together at events, with rumors swirling about their close friendship. Isla, a rising star with a reputation for being charming and approachable, seemed like someone Bieber could trust. But what started as a bond quickly became a lesson in betrayal. Sources allege that Isla was behind a string of leaks about Bieber's personal life during some of his most turbulent years. One incident involved rumors of a private argument captured at an after-party, details that Justin's team insists could only have come from someone in his inner circle. The story, published in a gossip magazine, painted Bieber as reckless and hot-headed, fueling the already negative press surrounding him at the time. Isla never admitted to these leaks, but subsequent reports suggested that she received financial compensation for sharing insider information. Over time, Bieber's approach to Isla noticeably changed. Public outings with her stopped completely, and although he never addressed the betrayal directly, fans noticed his social media unfollowing spree. What stings most is that Isla was positioned as a friend, but the damage she caused was anything but friendly. What Justin faced next, though, hit even closer to home. Number 3, Theo Nova. Theo Nova and Justin Bieber both skyrocketed to fame around the same time, and with their youth and pop appeal, the media naturally pitted them against each other. Headlines often asked who was the bigger star, while comparison pieces dissected everything from their music to their personal lives. But for Theo, this rivalry reportedly wasn't just for the cameras, it was personal. Insiders claim that Nova actively fueled negative stories about Bieber to gain the upper hand. One specific instance involved a rumor that Bieber once showed up intoxicated to a major rehearsal event. This story spread quickly, making Bieber look unreliable at a time when his image was already fragile. According to sources, Nova's team discreetly pushed this narrative to the press. Though Bieber never publicly addressed the claim, fans later pointed out that he wasn't even in the same city when the alleged incident took place. As Bieber moved forward in his career, he stopped playing into the rivalry altogether. In interviews, he focused on his own journey while avoiding any mention of Nova. But the fallout from this feud left its mark, proving that some rivalries are less about competition and more about sabotage. And the next betrayal, it was far more personal.
Dominant was unusual in that he didn't have a TV show on Nickelodeon or the Disney Channel or MTV to kind of prop him up.
Blunders were public. In 2014, the young star's behavior triggering multiple tabloid-filled run-ins with the law, including a DUI.
It will test everything. It will take the weakest, most vulnerable parts of who you are, and it will expose them to the greatest stress.
Number 4, Madison Lux. Madison Lux built her Hollywood career on a polished image, talented, glamorous, and seemingly supportive of her peers. When she collaborated with Justin Bieber on a chart-topping single early in his career, fans were excited to see them working together. They made headlines as a power duo and shared the spotlight at industry events. But while the partnership appeared harmonious to the public, there were cracks beneath the surface that told a very different story. Behind the scenes, Lux allegedly shifted negative attention onto Bieber, using his reputation as an easy target when the media became critical of her. For instance, during a controversy that involved accusations of diva-like behavior on a set, whispers began that Bieber was the one causing delays and tension. Lux, according to sources, remained quiet as these false reports circulated, knowing the public would believe them. Bieber's history of public scrutiny made the narrative stick almost effortlessly, and Lux's hands appeared clean. Bieber didn't call her out directly, but his fans were quick to notice the pattern and came to his defense online. While their support was vocal, his reputation still absorbed the brunt of the damage. What followed for Bieber, however, felt even more personal and much harder to ignore. Number 5, Derek Drew Holloway. Derek Drew Holloway was the kind of industry figure whose influence could make or break careers. For Justin Bieber, Holloway represented power, expertise, and guidance during his whirlwind rise to fame. But as Bieber later reflected, those early years often felt like a race he was forced to keep running, regardless of the toll it took on him. Holloway, like many insiders in the industry, seemed more focused on squeezing as much profit as possible from his young star rather than ensuring his well-being. Fans have pointed to instances where Bieber's boundaries were blatantly ignored. Grueling schedules kept him from getting normal rest or meals, and his discomfort was brushed aside when it conflicted with promotional obligations. At 16, Bieber was still just a teenager, yet he was expected to meet the emotional and physical demands of being an international idol. During one media tour, Bieber was reported to have been acting manic, not sleeping, and hardly eating, according to insiders. His exhaustion wasn't just a byproduct of fame, it was the result of adults like Holloway pushing him past his limits. Now in his 30s, Bieber has spoken openly about the pressures of those early years, subtly calling out the system of exploitation he endured. And this wasn't even his most shocking betrayal.
Being a young star is like taking a tall ship through the biggest storm you can imagine. Remember, everybody loves young teen stars because they are compliant. And then one day, they are not compliant.
Number 6, Serafina Knox. Serafina Knox was a name synonymous with trust in Hollywood. Known for her polished professionalism and spotless track record, she was one of those rare figures who managed to dodge the usual industry scandals. At least that's how it seemed. Behind her carefully curated image, however, was a brewing controversy that not only dismantled her reputation, but dragged Justin Bieber into the fallout, completely against his will. Knox's troubles began when a major industry scandal linked her to financial misconduct involving the misuse of artist royalties. Several high-profile names were mentioned in the investigation, but it was Bieber's connection to Knox that stunned fans. Although he wasn't involved, their prior collaborations, both public and private, were scrutinized heavily. Gossip columns latched onto his name, spinning stories that implied he had benefited from questionable deals. It didn't take long for this noise to affect him. Bieber, already cautious of the media, seemed to retreat even further, cutting ties with Knox and avoiding public comment altogether. In recent years, Bieber's focus has shifted towards protecting his peace. He surrounded himself with a smaller, more trusted circle as he continues to prioritize his mental well-being. But this betrayal left a lasting impression, cementing his distrust of Hollywood's inner workings. Justin Bieber's story reveals the heavy toll that betrayals and manipulations can take on young stars in Hollywood, from the pressures put on him by supposed mentors to the way trusted friends and collaborators turned against him. Each experience shaped the cautious, reserved person he has become today. As troubling as these stories are, they aren't unique to Bieber. His journey reflects a deeper issue within the industry itself. So how does Hollywood balance nurturing talent with its relentless pursuit of profit? Let us know what you think in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.